Yeah, the new car looks great. Obviously, it's always a very special emotion to see the new car for the first time, as it's so many months of hard work here at the factory, discussions back and forth with the engineers to finally see the the end and to see the final product, the final car, just in front of my eyes feels amazing. So the colors are nice. There's a bit more yellow. And obviously we still keep the red, so I'm really happy with that. On the simulator, the feeling is good. The car is definitely a step forward compared to last year. We've been focusing on the main weaknesses we had last year, as we do every year. And for now, the car on the simulator has been reacting extremely well. But there's obviously another important part to all of this, is how much it correlates to then the real car once we put it in Bahrain for the first time on the track. So this will be a crucial moment that will tell us whether we did a good job for this season. But until now, so far so good, and everything we've tested on the simulator was positive. I think last year was a very difficult season for the team. However, we have worked extremely well, and it was very clear the direction in which we needed to work in order to achieve better results this year. And I'm sure that the team has done a great job. So the few difficulties that we encountered during 23, I'm confident that they will not be there in 24 anymore, and that should be a good sign. I think the main area where we had to work on was the sensitivity to the change of conditions. We had a very peaky car last year where it was very strong whenever we had all the perfect conditions, but whenever one of these factors, whether it's temperature, wind, speed, force, or direction, it will have a huge impact on our car. And this, we wanted to change it for this car, for it to make it better and easier to drive, as it was very difficult whenever it was windy conditions. And this is something that I would like to see change for this year. It's always impossible to predict whether we will be closer to our main competitors or not. Formula One is obviously a relative sport, but at the same time we are focusing on ourselves, and from one year to the other we always try to look at what we can do better as a team without focusing too much on the others. We don't know where the others are at in terms of development, so we'll have to wait the real first laps before to judge where exactly we are. Thank you for the continuous support you've been giving me and the team during all those years. We've had very good years, we've had years that were more difficult, but one thing that never changes is your support towards us, and this helps us a lot. So just a big thank you to always be there, and I really hope that the car of this year will give us and you more satisfaction, with hopefully many more wins and more podiums. See you on track.
Well, for sure, the first time you see a car is always a special moment, no? It's the first time you see the shapes, you see the colors, you see how it's gonna look, what you're gonna drive for 2024. And I've seen, yeah, a completely different look, both on the shapes, but also on the design. And it excites me because I just cannot wait to drive it. I've been looking forward to this moment the last couple of months, and it's finally happening. Well, my input, of course, is all the technical feedback from last year's car, put together with all the technical input from all the engineers. We spent a lot of hours in the simulator also developing this car, so my feedback is purely a technical feeling driving point of view, which I hope it's gonna make it go faster. I think we've been putting a lot of hours, a lot of emphasis into a lot of small details of this car that hopefully is going to give us a bit more of an edge this year. I really don't like going into specifics of how the car feels in the simulator because it's obviously something very private for the team. But yes, it definitely feels different. The target is for the car to feel different, to give more confidence to the drivers, and to be able to extract more lap time from it. No, last year wasn't easy in that front, but this year I'm pretty sure we have made steps in the right direction. Whether it will be enough or not, only time will tell. For sure, we are trying to improve all the areas. I think if we really want to challenge for the world title this year, we need to improve in every single area of the car. And that's exactly what we've been trying to do all the winter and the past season, to try and improve every single area. Don't leave anything on the without touching it or without trying to improve it. And with that approach and with that mindset, this car is wanting to improve in every single area. My main intention is simply for the car to be a bit more drivable. I think I have a wider window of performance, of drivability. Last year, it is true that we struggled in certain conditions. In certain circuits, we were not as strong as we should, while the car in others was very strong. No? We struggled a bit also with predictability at the beginning of the year. We managed to improve it as the season went on. So yeah, just having a wider window of performance, and hopefully that making our races a bit easier. My prediction is that yes, it should be. No, at the end, in the end, when you look at the 2023 season, as the races were going by, the competition was getting tighter and tighter across the whole field. I remember a lot of Q1s, Q2s, and Q3s that there was barely anything between a lot of teams. So moving forward to a year, I think everyone's going to converge even more, and the competition is going to be even tighter. So that's why every single detail, every single small advantage that you can get and improve, it's going to be key, because the field is going to be extremely tight. Well, a very quick message of thank you, for the support that we received all the last few seasons, for the support that I'm sure we're going to receive in the 2024. Thank you for being there always, supporting us. Thank you for being in the tough moments and also in the good moments, that there were plenty also last year. So let's keep pushing all together. We've done everything we can to produce and to create a fast car this year, and with your support, I'm sure we can push for the best.
It's always the same feeling. We are not paying too much attention to the livery or the design of the car. At the end of the day, as a racer, we are more focused on the fact that it's a transition between the end of the project of the conception in one end and the start of the season and a new project. This kind of feeling is always very exciting, and we are at this stage today. As usual, the drivers, they are much more focused on performance and so than on livery and design, and this is quite normal that they had the first test in the simulator before, and they are really focused on performance. For sure, the base is still red and will stay red for sure. That it's very important for us. We had a new touch of white and yellow. Yellow because it's Modena, and also the white. It's coherent with the approach of the company. We have to build up 2024 on the last part of the 2023 season, that we had a good second part of the season last year. We have also to be focused on the weaknesses of 2023 and to be much more opportunistic in terms of points scored, and we'll be focused on this. I'm still not able to see something on the crystal ball because they didn't give me the manual. But we need to continue the progression that we had at the end of the 2023 season. We need to be able to score more points, to be more performant for sure, but to be more efficient. And it was probably the biggest weakness of last year, and we'll be focused on this. 2024 will be a very long season with 24 races. It's much more than what we did before in F1. For sure, you will have up and down as every single team. The most important is to stay quite consistent into the approach, not to overreact. Your support is crucial for us. We need your support, and thanks again. Forza Ferrari.
The main targets we gave to us developing the SF-24 has been to enhance the drivability of our car to allow our drivers to exploit all the potential. The other target has been to have a robust platform in terms of delivery on track to make sure that all the performance developed in wind tunnel will be present also on track. Designing the SF-24, we didn't give us any constraint. It was important to unlock all the performance available. For that reason, all the areas of the car has been interested to a complete revamp. The target we had for developing the SF-24 has been the same we gave us during the in-season development of the SF-23. So in terms of general targets, the SF-24 is in continuity with what we tried to achieve with the SF-23 during the season, but is a big departure compared to what we did in 22 and 23. To have a clear idea on how to develop the car means for us to have understood the comments of our drivers and to have translated them into engineeristics parameters. So the drivers are the pivot of our development, and as engineers, our duty is to understand what to do, how to develop the car to make them happy on track.
In terms of challenges, the 2024 for the power unit engineers are mainly two. The very first one is obviously the season that is about to start, and this promises to be the most challenging and longest as ever. At the end, this will require for sure the maximum level of attention, the maximum focus on what we are preparing, what we are managing, and how the power unit will be deployed at the track. The dyno bench hours will be further reduced by regulation, and the timing of the season is certainly not giving us a huge time for the reaction in case of any issues or open point. On the second point, there is also another important challenge that we are embracing in 2024, that is the new preparation for the 2026 new power unit, which is certainly entering in its most important stage of development. So it will be also important on that respect to keep an increase in focus in order to be sure that all the plan and the planning are going as per expectations. As usual, over the winter, and actually even before the winter, the very first focus that we put into the new season preparation is about the open points from the previous season. So actually we started, since mid of last year, to work on every open point that we faced in 2023 in order to be ready for the new incoming season in terms of reliability, open points or issues, in terms of preparation, in terms of optimization of our usage of the power unit. Secondly, last season showed us, like never before, the importance of details in the management of our product. So the second point of attention for us in preparation of the next season was really to review all the process related to the power unit, starting from design, that is anyway frozen in terms of performance, but also going into the preparation, sign-off, assembly procedures, till obviously the management on the product in a track environment. And this is the second important topic on which we focused our attention in preparation of 2024. As a power unit group, obviously the very first and the main target is to deploy the maximum level of performance of the power unit in each and every conditions in which it will be used at the track. So in order to maximize the potential of the project. And this is really what we are aiming for. Obviously, with the same number of power unit and increasing the number of races, this is becoming more and more challenging. And the effort that we have to deploy on that is always very, very high and higher each season. We do not often realize how extreme are these power units and how important are the components of the power unit in their usage, in their preparation, and in their execution. And it's not only a matter of the power unit engineers, it's really a teamwork which all the different departments that are contributing with their efforts and their work in order to be prepared for the season. So quality, supply chain, planning department, everyone together with us is really working for being prepared and for managing the usage of the power unit at the track in order just to maximize the potential of it. The level of complexity of the power units today is so high that for sure it's impossible to say that we can be alone in doing every part of the job. And we can really count on valuable external collaboration, suppliers and partners in order to help us in doing the job. And actually, we are working with them, with the most of them, since a while. Actually, with some of them since the introduction of the new regulation in 2014. Some other joined the team later on. But it's true that we are all working for being able to deploy the power unit performance as per expectations. And it's not only a matter of design, it's a matter of the complete life cycle of the power unit. For example, being able, through data analysis, through physical analysis, to be in control of what the power unit is doing, and sometimes also maybe with the fluid analysis, for example, with our partner Shell, to be able to understand the level of health of the engine through the sessions and through the whole season.
There will be many changes in 2024 sporting regulation, but probably the most interesting or the one with the biggest impact is the one related to the different format that we will face in the 6 sprint weekends that are scheduled for 2024. Since a while, among teams with F1, with FIA, we have been discussing a possible modification to these weekends in order to make them as attractive as possible for fans that we're already enjoying, but there is always room to improve, and also to make them more challenging for teams. We thought that a possible modification could have been to make the weekend a bit more linear. So what we will see in 2024 is a weekend starting again with a free practice session, as in 2023, but immediately after we will have the sprint qualifying. We will not have any longer the qualify for Sunday, but we will enter already in Friday afternoon in the sprint part of the weekend with the sprint race in the morning of Saturday. Sprint quali and sprint race will be kept by a parfermé phase 1. This parfermé will end after the sprint race, allowing teams and drivers to work eventually on the cars, to be prepared for the quali that will be on the afternoon or the second day of running, where another parfermé period will start, ending with the race on Sunday. Another modification that will be for sure interesting for the fans and a slightly different approach required for the teams is about Sunday, where the grid will open 40 minutes before the scheduled time of formation lap. We were used to 50 minutes. And also the usage of DRS. DRS will be enabled 1 lap after the race start or 1 lap after the restart of the race. Last year was 2 laps in the normal weekends. Also, we have reviewed the allocation of wet tires. We will move from 4 sets of intermediates and 3 sets of extreme tires to 5 and 2. And there are also points that are still under discussion, that most likely will not be included in the sporting regulation, but will be addressed with directive for the stewards and director notes event by event. I'm referring to traffic management during qualifying, or track limits infringement, and possible action to mitigate the downside of these happenings. Second part of 2023 season has shown, in our opinion, a positive path. The trend was of improvement. Nevertheless, analyzing our races and our season, we realized that there were some things missing. For sure, we have not been opportunistic enough. We left behind too many points. Main target of the whole team is obviously to score as many points as possible, and this happens only if you have a fast car. But whatever car you have, execution comes to play, and you have to execute properly. We had many reliability issues, some mistakes, problem of communication, and these are operation side, the topics that we are trying to tackle over winter with preparation, with revised procedures, with different method of preparing the weekend and the execution of the sessions. "2024 is going to be the longest F1 season ever. We will have 24 races, and the last will be the 8th of December. So it will be very challenging and stressful for our people. Already since some years, we have been trying to rotate the track personnel, and this has already paid off. We are going to do the same, even more, in the coming season, trying to maximize the performance throughout all the year of our people, but also trying to make it more sustainable for them, allowing some time to rest. This is not coming for free. You need to be organized, you need to be prepared, you need to accept that this rotation is also including a different level of preparation and different level of information exchange among all the team. But this, we think, is the way to go also for the future.